What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. Okay, that's first. Welcome. All right, enjoy your stay. Make yourself comfortable. Yes, me. I'm your host, Sir Ed Honcho. All right, we got things we're going to talk about this evening. Some people may find them controversial. Some people may find them emotional. Some people may find them funny. I think a lot of this shit's funny. But whatever it may be, all opinions are welcome. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. All right, that's what I'm looking for right there. And all those good things. But yeah, welcome to the best conversation on the internet. You can look high and low, you'll never find a better show. And you say, well, why is that? Because you're just conceited and you just think you're all that. No, it's because of the wonderful people like you who join this conversation each and every evening as we discuss various topics on a wide range of things, right? So we're going to discuss a little bit of stuff. I'm kind of like partially late on what we talked about tonight because I hadn't really had the time to really look into it. And we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about some of the ramifications from some of the things that have taken place that maybe people are making a bit more serious than it should be. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just not taking it serious enough. But we will get into that. We will discover whatever that is. But first, let's see who we have joining us this evening. Make sure you hit the like button. It is free. And welcome to everybody. I see 17. I want to say something's Grayson earlier. I know I had to reset. Some things happened. I want to say shout out to 17. Shout out to John, my favorite New Yorker. General Kenobi, D. Kenobi in the building. The lovely Miss Sarah Lou. How are you? That's terrible. But like I said, man, we're going to get into it. We got plenty to discuss as we get into this evening's topic. And for those of you, after our regulated den hours, I will be on the gaming channel for a bit. I got to finish that other game. I like the zombie stuff, but I got to finish that other stuff because I'm curious about the storyline. I haven't been watching anything else about it until then. So anyway, a couple of things I want to get into tonight. And I guess there's a few different angles in which we can look at some of tonight's conversations, right? We can talk about time, and we can talk about money, right? And that's gonna be my premises. Y'all know I'll be freestyling when I come up in here, so I'll be trying to make it sound prepared, right? We're gonna talk about time. We're gonna talk about money, right? When we talk about time, we're gonna be talking about John Gruden. When we talk about money, we're gonna be talking about Dave Chappelle. And if you may have saw the thumbnail, you saw Randy Moss. Some of you may be familiar with him. Some of you may not be familiar. You probably should be, I don't know, maybe you might be more familiar with Randy Moss than you are with John Gruden. Maybe vice versa. Who knows? Depends on, whatever you may think. Shout out to Marcus Brown. What's the motherfucking deal? So I got a couple of articles, and we're going to bring the articles up. We're going to look over those to familiarize you guys with what's going on in the topics that I am going to be speaking on this evening, right? See if that helps. All right. And so John Gruden is a former football coach. Probably won't be a television analyst again. But he took some time off, Super Bowl winning coach. Again, everything was kind of set up for him to win it. I don't think he's really like a championship coach. He just, the pieces were there. He filled it in. He did what he needed to do, right? So, but you win the ring, you get it, it's yours. It is what it is, right? So you can't take that away from somebody, because I mean, you still got to coach the game, you still got to play the games. You got to do what you got to do. So what happened with John Gruden is apparently there has been this ongoing thing with the NFL and the Washington Redskins, right? Fuck that Washington football team shit. That's just so generic and corny. It's stupid as shit, right? The Washington Redskins. And they've been under investigation since they were the Washington Redskins. So, yeah, I'm calling them the Washington Redskins. So, Dan Snyder, some others, there's been guys that have been let go. But apparently, throughout this investigation, there were some emails, right? And so John Gruden wasn't even the target of this investigation. But apparently, what's the guy's name? I think Bruce Allen or Bruce Smith, what is the name? The ex-Indians. Yeah, if that's the case, you got to get rid of what they did, get rid of the Cleveland Indians. Wanted to get rid of the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Because Chiefs is strong and powerful, doesn't seem derogatory. Still talking about Indians, right? What's the difference? Anyway, so some emails of his, I guess, were found, corresponding back and forth with the guy they were investigating from the Washington football team. And so what came out about John Gruden and his correspondence with this guy, and this is not when he was a coach, right? This is when he was working for ESPN, which again, I think should play some kind of role. Maybe, maybe not, right? Okay. Anyway, these emails were from 2011. This is 2021, okay? This is a new decade, right? We're on some new shit. This is post C19. This is a new world we're living in, right? And he just recently became a coach again a couple of years back. Well, it's been 2 or 3 years now. And, there's been ups, downs, ins and outs with that. So, oh man, my emails got publicized. They'd be pretty boring. Depending on how far you go back 10 years, well, maybe not. Who knows, right? But so people are upset. He said some things, right? So I'm gonna pull up the article so we can see what exactly did he say, right? The emails haven't necessarily been leaked, but the New York Times has dropped some hints, right? And so we're gonna go there. We're gonna skim through this, because apparently he said, and this is the funny part. I want y'all to pay attention to all of this, right? I want y'all to pay attention to things. The details are extremely important when discussing any matter. You have to pay attention to how things are worded, how things are said. Why does this look so long? Why does this look like this? Like the longest, stretchiest background ever. Let's fix this, right? Let's kind of, what can we do here? Let's what's really weird? It's bothering me. Do. You know what? Let's hop in the circle. Do. So anyway, New York Times, right, says coach resigns. No, wrong thing. Nope, that's not it. Y'all see, look, I'm trying to do shit live and direct. This is not how that works. This actually needs to be right here. Anyway, so it says coach resigns after homophobic and okay, that is what it was. I just had the wrong thing. Homophobic and misogynistic. There we go. Oh, hop in a circle. Homophobic and misogynistic emails, right? Now, the thing that everybody is upset about, don't judge me, or that a particular group is upset about, is this alleged racism, right? I'll tell you about the left. I'll tell you about liberals, and we got to talk about what's hot in the moment. New York Times, we know what kind of newspaper it is. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not going to take their special offer that you see down at the bottom of the screen. let's see what the New York Times is talking about here, right? So, well, actually, I guess this looks a little better. Just adjusting my damn screen, no matter what. No, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, I guess that makes more sense. It looks better on my end. Anyway, John Gruden stepped down Monday, October 11th, hours after the New York Times detailed emails in which he made homophobic and misogynistic remarks following an earlier report of racist statements about a union leader, right? And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into those racist statements. Oh, man. No, I need to. I might just thought about something. But anyway, his reason was striking departure from the Football League for a coach who had won a Super Bowl, 19 years ago. Been a marquee analyst on ESPN, returned to NFL 2018. Led the Raiders, which he coached the year before. He said, he tweeted, I resigned. I love the Raiders. I don't want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coach, staff, fans right now. I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt anybody. Mark Davis accepts the resignation. And so anyway, they said that's part of a separate workplace misconduct investigation that did not directly involve him. New York Times didn't do shit. These emails were released in part of an investigation in court, if I'm not mistaken, for the other gentleman, Bruce Allen, whatever. But it just, hey, you found another target to ruin. So let's do it, right? Wokety woke stuff. Let's make up news that really doesn't matter. Anyway, they did not directly involve him found that Gruden had casually and frequently unleashed misogynistic and homophobic language over several years to denigrate people around the game and to mock some of the league's momentous changes. He denounced the emergence of women as referees. I'm not the biggest fan of that myself, right? But I'm a bigot, so it doesn't matter. The drafting of a gay player, the tolerance of players protesting during the national anthem, according to emails reviewed by the Times. You're not allowed to have opinions on anything, right? Gruden's message was sent to Bruce Allen, former team president of the Washington Redskins, and others while he was working for ESPN as a color analyst. So again, he analyzed the league. That's his job, a color analyst. And he, had opinions on things that were going on. Like this is people's problem is that they expect the talking heads on TV, just because they don't say certain stuff, to believe every fucking thing. Hispanic areas might get DUI. So, in the emails, Gruden called the league commissioner Goodell a faggot and a clueless anti-football pussy. I've probably said similar things about Roger Goodell at some point in time in my life. Said that Goodell should not have been pressured Jeff Fisher, then the coach of the Rams, to draft queers. A reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the team in 2014. Let's take a pause right there, right? Because you got so many people who are always going to say, oh, that this person should issue an apology and he needs to apologize to everybody. If anything, in this situation, Michael Sam needs to be thanking. Michael Sam needs to send a thank you to John Gruden. And you're like, you're a terrible person for saying what you said. Michael Sam's career was a farce, right? I think he made a couple of practice squads before getting cut. Michael Sam cared more about being gay than playing in the NFL. I don't know who around him pumped his head up and just told him that he was going to be. He was picked he was like one of the last picks. If he wasn't the damn very last pick, he was one of the last, because I think he won the SEC. I think he was Defensive Player of the Year, some kind of title he won. So people thought, because he got that, he was just going to go. He was going to be this number one draft pick or something. But he was a tweener, and not what you may think that may mean. It just means for the position that he played, his body type it sufficed in college, whichever body types he preferred, but not necessarily for that same position in the league, right? And so it just didn't pan out. He just was not having success in the league. He bounced from I think he was on the Cowboys for a little bit. But like I said, this dude made it all about him being gay more so than being in the league. had this big gay kiss when he got drafted. And here's the crazy part, right? Because they covered Michael Sam. Like nobody, like you don't ever see 7th round players get picked. It's just like names they run off on a list, just like they throw darts. We'll take this dude, whoever, whatever. There's no go to his house. There's none of this shit. So ESPN made this big fucking hoopla. And I could guarantee you that, you know, what's the name was probably part of it. Gruden was probably part of it. Probably was disgusted by it because they made this big hoopla to try to make it seem like something special that was not special. Michael Sam was not good enough for the NFL. It had nothing to do with him being gay or any of that, because we're going to get to why. And we know that's not true in just a second, right? And so they made this big hoopla. And then what did Michael Sam do? As soon as he got drafted, just made this big, huge deal to make out with some dude on TV, right? You've never seen any straight player do that. And there's been thousands of them. You've never seen a straight player, every other NFL player that we were relatively, and I'm sure there's some others in there, right? Well, apparently there's, you know, what's his name came out when he's about. Anyway, you've never seen that happen. You've never seen it happen. You see them smooch their mom, maybe get a girlfriend, a little peck, a little hug, dap up whoever, go get that. And these are early round players who get that type of attention, you know, maybe first, second round. There may be a guy who's expected to go to first and then drop to the third. They may give him a little bit of. Michael Sam was never expected to be a first round player. Never, ever, ever. They made it more about him being a homosexual than about his football skills at all, right? And so he was trying to line up a VH1 show before he ever got to, like, so it was a whole mockery. It's like, you trying to be famous, not play in the NFL. Like, you're trying to do all this other stuff, which is a distraction to a team. And if you're not that good and you got all this extra baggage coming with you that's unnecessary, you know, you got to weigh the pros and cons. There's going to be trade-offs. Like, this guy's a fringe roster player at best. He's got cameras following him. He's got this other stuff going on that's going to bring a lot of commotion. Everybody's going to want to talk about that and not necessarily about that. Like, is it worth it to have him on the team? And obviously he cares more about the attention than getting ready to play in the NFL, right? So this is why, you know, it didn't work. But everybody said, oh, it's because he's gay. If it was because he's gay, he would have never gotten drafted. Period. Point blank. That had nothing to do with it, right? If Goodell pressured it, whatever, I'm sure, because Goodell is not about football. He doesn't care about football. He cares about getting more ratings. That's why the game has gotten softer. That's why it's much more offensive. You know, any type of hit that could possibly injure your most important, or in certain people's opinion, your most important player, your quarterback, you breathe on him, you know, you get a flag, you kicked out the league. It's not the same game as it was. Texas boss, what's the motherfucking deal? It absolutely was disgusting, right? But you've never seen anybody like, I wish somebody can name you, of the thousands and thousands of dudes that have gotten drafted, right? Have you ever seen anybody do anything that outrageous? Never. Like, and if you know one, let me know. I'll look it up and I'll correct myself. But you've never seen it. But it's but it's funny. The one gay dude that gets drafted, that immediately happens. Why? To try to make some type of statement, like I said, the poster boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, gay kids when he was drafted. Like I say, and it's just it to try to make this big thing. Like, again, it was more about the attention than playing. Anyway, getting back to Gruden, right? So anyway, my whole point was Michael Sam should thank John Gruden for making him relevant again, because his career was a nothing. Numerous emails during a 7-year period ending in early 2018, which I guess is right before he came to the league. Gruden criticized Goodell and the league for trying to reduce concussions, said that Eric Reed, a player who had demonstrated during the anthem, playing the national anthem, should be fired. Several instances, Gruden used a homophobic slur to refer to Goodell. I don't care about that. I've used plenty of homophobic slurs to talk about Goodell every time I see him, every draft, every time. Anyway, offensive language to describe some NFL owners, coaches, and journalists who cover the league. Really? So it wasn't just about the gays. It wasn't just about women. It wasn't one off-ass random statement about the NFL Players Union leader. He talks shit about everybody because that's what the fuck he did. Oh my God, what a terrible person. Anyway, although not with a team at the time, Gruden was still influential in the league and highly coveted as a coach. He won a Super Bowl. They keep saying that. He wasn't really all that coveted. Just the Raiders wanted him. Anyway. So he was hired for a second stint head coach of the Raiders franchise, which includes defensive lineman Carl Nassib, the first active NFL player to publicly declare that he was gay, right? You see how they keep they got to throw all these extras for you to be the first this and first that to make it. He was the first active player. Well, I just said, oh, buddy was the first gay dude drafted. So he was quote unquote technically active on the roster for a little bit, right? So it's and it's the same thing with the first black or the first woman or the first, we always try to come with these super extra. Why don't you just be the first to do something? Like the first. You ain't got to be this weird or this extra caveat or none of this nonsense, right? Anyway, league said last week that it shared emails with the Raiders, which Gruden made derogatory comments. Gruden told ESPN on Sunday that the league was reviewing emails, which he criticized Goodell, explaining that he had been upset about the team owners lockout, 2011, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently Gruden exchanged emails with Allen and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms. One photo of two Washington team cheerleaders. Men sharing photos of women they find attractive? How? How dare they? How dare they? Maybe they should share photos of other men in the locker room, so that would be woke. Look at him, shaking hands with a gay player. What a terrible person. What a terrible person. He's such an awful person about those bad things that he wrote 10 years ago that look at him. He's shaking hands with one of the gays. How dare he? How dare he? Right? But he's such a terrible person, right? Anyway, Gruden also criticized Barack Obama in 2012, then Vice President Joseph R. Biden, who Gruden called a nervous, clueless pussy. I didn't really care for Gruden too much before this, so I'm starting to like him a little bit more and more. He used similar words to describe Goodell and DeMaurice Smith, the executive director of NFL Players Association, right? And with Smith, and then this is what I'm saying. This is the funny part, right? The league's already investigating Gruden as a result of another email he wrote to Allen in 2011, which he used racist terms to describe Smith, who is black. In that email, Gruden, who is white. These people get paid to write this stuff. They get paid to write these things. Wow, this is informative. Criticized Smith's intelligence and used a racist trope to describe his face. He said, that DeMaurice Smith's lips look like Michelin tires. Y'all can call it racist. Y'all can call it whatever the fuck you want. That shit is funny. Right? That shit was funny to me. Anyway. Unvarnished, taking to get these emails provided unvarnished look into the clubby culture of one NFL circle of peers where white males and shit felt comfortable sharing pornographic images, deriding the league's policy and jokingly sharing homophobic language. Niggas do this shit in the locker room. This is what I'm saying, about these stupid ass. There are players who do this. There are players who do this shit in the locker room during games all fucking day long. This is not anything new. It's not just, because he's a owner, he's a coach, he's a this. Anyway, we're going to get into all that, right? Because I got a video I want to show you, and this is the funniest thing I've seen all week. Said he didn't remember sending an email that his language went too far, and I've never had a blade of racism in me. What is a racism blade? Is that like a knife? You get stabbed by a racist person? But anyway, Goodell instructed leagues have to look at more than, goddamn, 650,000 emails in the past few months. Gruden used his personal email account. Damn it, he pulled a Hillary. Allen initiated the conversation. Gruden chimed in. While in other cases, they trade vulgar comments. Again, I don't really care about any of this stuff, right? Who cares, right? Who cares? Between also include businessman friends, Ed Droz, co-founder of Hooters. No. You think they shared pictures of women? You think they shared pictures of women with the guy who owns, founded Hooters? Everybody who goes into Hooters, if you've ever been in a Hooters, you don't go to Hooters for the food. Hooters' food's not that great. You might go for the free UFC fights, right? You might go for that. Old men go to Hooters to flirt with what used to be fairly attractive younger women. Now they're taking what they can get. Now girls don't work at Hooters. They just go to the gram. They just put their booking info on Instagram. They don't work at Hooters no more. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna have to get this kind of treatment. I might as well just fucking, I might as well just go all the way in, right? So Jim McVeigh, an executive who has run the Outback Bowl, Nick Reeder, founder of PDQ Restaurant. I've seen these PDQs. I've never seen one that's actually open, right? So again, who cares? I don't give a shit about none of this stuff. Like, anyway, so they go through all this stuff. Who cares, right? This is what I want to show y'all. This is what I want to get into. Let's watch something together, shall we?
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotional responses to this. Teddy, I hear you saying basically, if you were in that locker room today, you kind of just put your head down and you think of him as the leader in terms of the decision maker, but not necessarily a leader you respect. I'm curious from your perspective, Randy, if you were in that locker room today, would you be able to play for him?
You know, to speaking of Teddy's point, you know, basically you hear us talk about we got a work to do, we got a job to do, and that's to provide for our families. And Teddy hit it right on the head of just putting your head down and going playing football. You know, I speak about the game of football. I fell in love with the game of football, Sam, at 6 years old. And I get emotional talking about it because of situations like this. My civil rights were kind of messed with in high school.
I would love to know the story of how Randy Moss's civil rights were taken in high school. Now, maybe y'all seen the 30 for 30 on Randy Moss or something. I don't know if there is one. I don't have no idea. His civil rights were taken, and somehow he became a multi-million-dollar athlete, one of the best in the game, some may have considered. Definitely had his fair share of tomfoolery and shenanigans on the field. And now is working on, ESPN, I believe it's ESPN, covering the game that he loves so much. I'm sure he's getting paid pretty good to do that. But his civil rights were taken. I mean, kind of messed with. If that ain't the dumbest sounding shit, they were taken. Now, all of a sudden, they were kind of messed. How quickly you change. Like, I'm tired of these black men out here looking like fucking pussies, though. Like, and Randy Moss is a guy that used to, like, remember Straight Cash, homie. And if I want to say, who was it? Was it Randy Moss that hit the meter maid or some shit like that? If I'm not mistaken, I gotta check that out. Did he violate their rights? Anywho, but I don't want to attribute that to him if it wasn't him that didn't do it, right? But my civil rights were kind of messed with. Like, kind of messed with means that shit wasn't serious. Like, sounds like you're trying to fucking make a story to make this seem relatable, right? And I haven't even finished the video. Like, let me finish the rest of it. But it's like, I got to give y'all my emotions as I watch this shit. This motherfucker ain't say shit to you. You weren't playing under Gruden. You don't have a relationship with Gruden like that. You may have in passing or something. But this is some shit he said to other people. And I'm gonna bust something down for y'all in just a second. Just give me a second.
Over the color of my skin. And now being able to play 14 years in the National Football League, to have something like this of a leader. We talk about leadership. We give guys these big contracts because they want to be able to lead 70 men, coaches, equipment staff, and managers to the number one goal, and that's to win a championship. And for us to be moving back and not forward in 21st century. Like I said, man, that.
Bro, if I remember the first time I heard Randy Moss talk, I did not fucking believe him. Like, if you didn't have a visual, right? If you didn't have a visual, you would not believe that Randy Moss is a black man. Y'all gave Dan a bunch of shit for a long time. If y'all wasn't believing Dan was a black man, y'all would not believe that Randy Moss is black. Like, I did not believe that was like his fucking voice first time I heard him talk. Anyway, again, getting all choked up over what? Right? And here's something I'm gonna tell you. Here's something I'm gonna tell y'all, right? I would bet money, right? I would bet time and effort and something of humiliation. It may not be on record via email, maybe text message somewhere, who knows? But I guarantee you, Teddy Bruschi has the same fucking views as fucking John Gruden. Now, he may not be out there calling people pussies and homo shit and all that other stuff, but I guarantee you when it comes to the political shit, when it comes to the shenanigans on the field type shit and the not standing for, I guarantee you, if we were to talk about a percentage, maybe not to the degree of what is being said, but just the views, I guarantee you Teddy Bruschi's views are more in line with John Gruden than they are with fucking Randy Moss. But Teddy Bruschi is employed by ESPN, and so he's going to play the role that gets him paid. Because even if you listen to what he says, if the little bit that he did catch, come on, man. He's not really saying that.
National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
No.
This hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. This motherfucker was told beforehand, you better make some kind of, this is what I'm saying. He got Michael Sammed. He got Michael Sam. But when it's your time to talk, you better do something emotional and touching. What happened to you that made you cry? Look at this bitch ass nigga. Look at this motherfucker. Motherfucker, you would have thought his dog died or something. Goodell said some shit about DeMaurice Smith, right? DeMaurice Smith. That shit was fucking funny. Look at some big ass niggas like this. This is what kills me, right? Like if he'd have said some shit, I don't even know. Like that's the only thing that's really gonna come out was the lips thing. If there's other shit, cool, we'll get there when we cross that bridge. But even if so, niggas cap on niggas all the fucking time. Now, if he said that motherfucker's a monkey nigger and some other shit, still, man, that nigga's fucked up. That nigga Gruden a whole ass nigga. It is what it is, right? But you can sit here, if that was somebody else and said, in the Players Association got the capping on DeMaurice Smith or whoever else or whatever else, niggas wouldn't have no issue with it, right? As the nigga who does these things, right? You can cap on white people all day long and not think nothing of it. You could say, flat lip, this, that, and other. We've had people say various things up in here. And nobody bats their eye twice. But then you say a little something else that just seems a little off kilter and niggas start losing their mind. The thing about it is, and I'm not saying Randy Moss is out there saying, he might have some emails revealed, who knows? But I'm not saying that's the case. But the thing about it is like the over emotional shit about it. And that's they got niggas out here playing so fucking pussy though. Like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? You gonna cry to somebody else? NFL, we gotta do something. Nigga, the majority of the league is black. Like, what the fuck you gonna do? What else do you want to do? You didn't took knees. You didn't fucking didn't come out for this, that, and the third. And if we're riding right along with you, and now did all this other shit, and now y'all want them to hop in a magical fucking time machine, and go back and punish John Gruden for shit he said a long time ago to a guy who's already been kicked out of the league and Bruce Allen, who's no longer a part of the team. Y'all want him to go punish some people who have nothing to do with football. You want to ban Hooters from being able to show NFL games? Like, you want PDQs not to be located near any NFL? Like, what else do you want them to fucking do? Like, you cannot legislate people's fucking personalities. You cannot legislate people's opinions on things. Like, so I don't understand like what it is that you're expecting. I don't understand what it is that you want somebody to go, yeah, the clock is ticking, man. Like he had this idea that he was going to say something profound when this moment came to discuss, but he had nothing. He had nothing profound to say. Like tried to make it seem really, well, I had the thing that messed with my civil rights because the color. What happened? Explain the shit. Like, give some correlation to the shit. Like, make some understanding. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about because nobody's ever heard this shit before. All of a sudden, a guy, like you said, played 14 years in the league. You know, we can talk about here, there, and the things that happen in between. But, you know, how were your civil rights impeded? What happened? You know, so that other young black players can recognize, you know, what's going on and how to have their civil rights stepped on in this wokey woke age and still get to play 14 years in the league. Like, I'm trying to find out what it was. When the motherfuckers at ESPN told you, Brandy, get your ass out there. You better get out there and make those black Christ here. We need the ratings, goddammit.
I can play for you, but I'd rather not. Okay, I'd rather not do it, but if I have to do it, I will. And it's just because I have other people that I have to provide for, right? But I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
But we've done it before in different situations. We are all mentally tough people in that locker room, but it's something you'd rather not do.
Yeah, so this is what I think about. It's like Randy.
Everybody at this motherfucker take with the fake crying, the fake. Why the fuck is she crying? She ain't took nobody snaps, right? She ain't took nobody snaps. Oh, I wonder if you traded pictures of me topless at one point in time. I might have been like, what the fuck? Right? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is she crying?
He's sitting up here feeling this way from a distance. I can't imagine a guy in that locker room today trying to play a football game feeling that way.
With a heavy heart.
How? I don't know.
It hurts.
I don't know how. What?
Motherfuckers trying to oversell racism, bro. They trying You know what I say? I like, damn, Coach a wild boy, that whole ass nigga. And that would be it. And I would be like, you know what? I got 70 other motherfuckers in there I got to play for. I'm not playing for that motherfucker. Anybody in coaches. Fuck it. You know, the players that we playing with still here. It's not my quarterback. That's the motherfucker on the sideline. Somebody can fill his spot. What has he really done in this league that has just been so exceptional? Like I say, took Tony Dungy's team to the Super Bowl. What has he done of his own accord? Like, my deal is just like, come on, man. Like, they trying to just paint this picture. And we already know ESPN, they got on some wokey woke shit. They got all these all-female football shows, and they try to get all the. And I honestly, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched ESPN. Like, on some real. I think the last time I even saw on ESPN anything was the last time LeVar Ball was on there, and old gal tried to, like, accuse him of some shit. The same shit he said to her like a year before, the exact same shit, and then she tried to turn it into some. Like, that's what ESPN does, right? It just makes a bunch of fucking bullshit. Yeah, that's all it is. Like, their ratings are dropping. They're trying to be this, you know, because what was it? Disney owns them, so you know they gotta push this narrative that's not fucking true, and that's the problem. See, more people watch TV than live in reality, and so they believe this shit. Ain't a nan nigga can tell you some real shit. Like, the fact that this is so surprising to everybody. Like, this is my thing. Like, what do you know the man for? For the action that he's had with you back and forth? Or something he said about somebody else that doesn't correlate to you? He talked about DeMaurice Smith, right? Did he talk about Randy Moss? Then why the fuck is Randy Moss crying? I bet DeMaurice Smith ain't crying about the shit. Why? They pay these guys these big, they pay you big contracts. What are you talking about? Like, what are you saying right now? So we want them to lead, and then they're just like, well, guess what? The overwhelming majority of the coaches in the league ain't got Super Bowls, don't make it to Super Bowls. If they do go and they don't win it, they probably never go back again. The overwhelming majority. So, yeah, they're getting paid just like you get paid. A lot of you players ain't got rings. Some of the greats ain't got rings. Like, what does that have to do with anything? The money has nothing to do with his character. Like, why even bring that up? Right? Like, we pay him to be leaders. Obviously, he was doing that job. Obviously, he was leading, doing the things he needed to do on the field. He was getting paid as a commentator then. Show me something from when he was in the NFL in that leadership position, not when he was a viewer of the NFL working for ESPN. See, what ESPN is trying to do, right, is separate themselves from. So they're trying to use all this rhetoric and all this rah-rah to separate them from their relationship. We had no idea he was such a way. You know what I'm saying? We had no idea that it was like this. Like, y'all fucking knew, and y'all just waiting for y'all fucking emails to fucking pop up. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is fucking ridiculous. And it's I don't understand. I have no idea why, but it is. Like, anyway, let's finish this goofy ass. It's a round table of goofy crying ass people.
Max, Matt, or Rex, I would love to hear your perspective. What should the NFL do right now? You see this response, and you guarantee there's a version of this response in that locker room.
I guarantee it's not. I guarantee them niggas in that locker room ain't tripping. Ain't not a nail nigga in that locker room crying. I promise you that. No one in that locker room cried. I promise you that. I ain't nobody in there. We were just in there boo-hooing because we couldn't believe Coach even know how to send an email. I can't believe it. Shut the fuck up.
What should they do? How do you make this right? How does John Gruden make this right at this point? Or is it a lost cause?
I'm at a loss for solutions, but I think the answer to that question probably comes from somewhere inside that locker room, in that Las Vegas.
Are they still following him? I mean, that's a big question. You have the slogan of Al Davis talking about, you know, just win, baby. Today in Las Vegas, the slogan is must win, baby. So to be able to really see how this team responds, coming off a loss, and then having this week coming out with a heavy heart. All eyes is on Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What happened to the... No, that was quick. That was quick. Well, the sniffles, they disappeared quickly. Fucking bullshit ass theatrics.
I appreciate you just being genuine and honest. It's what we love about you.
We've been through a lot, Sam.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Obviously.
Doug, this is what I'm saying. Like this tomfoolery. I got nothing for it, right? I got nothing for it. It is what it is. I don't care about that shit on Fox News at all either. But yeah, so Michael Sam, who made history in 2014, was the first openly gay player to be drafted. Motherfucker was no good. No good at all. Like I said, there's a couple of the articles I was going to share and then get into, but I don't even want to. I'm done with this shit. But like I said, who gives a fuck, right? Who cares? And then people saying he needs to apologize. He doesn't owe anybody an apology, but maybe the people he specifically talked about, and that's a personal decision. Like, I'm tired of this shit where people feel like somebody does something that maybe they like, maybe they watch, maybe they whatever, but that thing didn't personally affect you. So why do they need to apologize to you? Like, I apologize to everybody. Like, for what? For what? You shouldn't have to do these things. You should just, if you fucking violated somebody, you know, make amends with the person you violate. You don't owe the world a fucking apology. Like, if you want to sit down and have a one-on-one with Smith and Michael Sam and whomever else, you know, let him do that and go on about his way. But as far as does he owe Randy Moss an apology? Fuck no. Does he owe anybody a fucking apology? Fuck no. He don't owe anybody shit. That shit fucking bothers me. Why is a woman leading the panel? Ask ESPN, because that's what they have to do for some reason now, right? They have to have a woman leading all conversations. Otherwise, you know, whatever. I don't know. So let's briefly talk about Dave Chappelle, right? Because there's a thing that happened at Netflix today, right? And people try to spin this story. Apparently, like, somebody at Netflix tried to stage like a trans employee walkout type situation thing going on, because Netflix kept because Netflix kept the Dave Chappelle thing on, right? And so all the news outlets and the same person who tried to stage this trans gay whatever walkout thing. And again, I think it was just a trans walkout, right? Got fired. Let's play the intersectionality game, right? They're black, they're trans, they're pregnant. So people try to use this to say, look, see, Netflix really doesn't care about the LGBT community. Again, all different sets of issues, which say would be a different thing. But I guess there's power in numbers, because if it wasn't as a group, then probably nobody would care about the issues individually. But that's a whole nother conversation. So what happened is, after that person got fired, I think there was another trans person who got put on suspension. And the news media tried to say, look, Netflix doesn't like the trans. If Netflix didn't like trans people, why would they have so many working for them? Why would they have so many of them working for them? Cavity creep, what's the motherfucking deal? If they didn't like trans people, right? The trans people at first wanted it taken down. Then they said, we don't want to take it down. We want Netflix to fix the situation by airing more LGBTQ shit. Is there not already like a whole section of LGBTQ shit on Netflix? Like, don't they got their own little panel that you scroll to the side? Doesn't Netflix probably have more LGBTQ based shit than anybody? Because I'm like, you want them to air more? What? Why? Anyway, let me show you guys this article. I got to send my receipts, right? Netflix inspired the leader of the Trans Employee Resource Group. See, they had a group. They had a whole group. Like, I'm sure that's more than two. Who was organizing the upcoming October 20th walkout. The employee, who is black and currently pregnant, asked not to be named for fear of online harassment. They have been encouraging trans employees and allies to walk out of work in protest of Netflix handling of the Dave Chappelle special, The Closer. Well, they got closure, as in no job, door closed. The employee declined to speak to The Verge for this story. All these white people are going around talking to the press and speaking publicly on Twitter, and the only person who gets fired is the black person who was quiet the entire time, says a former employee in an interview with The Verge. That's absurd, and just further shows that black trans people are the ones being targeted in this conversation. Now, instead of saying what really got that person fired, in the real reason, they wait a couple of paragraphs down to say it. The employee wasn't suspicion, and they know what happened. The employee was terminated on suspicion of leaking metrics to the press related to the Dave Chappelle special. Those metrics about how much Netflix paid for The Closer and how many people it reached subsequently ended up in a report on Bloomberg. We'll put that to the side. We'll check it out, see what it says. While the employee shared the metrics internally, they spoke out against the leaks to colleagues, worried that they might hurt the walkout movement. The leaking of internal data is highly unusual in Netflix. The company prides itself on transparency. Employees are told that the culture can only thrive when Netflix data remains internal. Netflix spokesperson confirmed the employee's dismissal. We have let go of an employee for sharing confidential, commercially sensitive information outside the company. We understand this employee may have been motivated by disappointment and hurt with Netflix, but maintaining a culture of trust and transparency is core to our company. Now, earlier in the article, it said suspicion. And, this person is saying that they did it, right? I guarantee you, in this day and age of wokey woke, progressivism and all that other shit. Netflix is not going to just go out on a whim and say, that's probably the person who did it, and just fire them, right? As much as this shit as they produce, as much as the fallout, backlash and shit that they see, they're going to cover their ass. They're going to know for sure that this was the employee that did it, right? They're going to make sure they're going to have proof and evidence, even though the other articles are going to use suspicion, use terms to try to make you doubt things. Like you got to watch, like I said earlier, you have to watch how things are worded, right? The lovely Miss Marie Lovely, how are you doing? Near pissed today to jump off a cliff watching Paul. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, but this is the wokey woke shit we're on. Like we can't, and it's sad that it's going to be his last thing because there's just nobody's brave enough to want to say the things that they really want to say because everybody's afraid of getting canceled. Right? These people don't want to do college campuses anymore because the college kids, they think they know it all just because they get told something by one of their weirdo ass professors. Anyway, but said controversy around the closure, which is widely criticized by trans activists for being transphobic, has roiled Netflix in recent weeks. Company suspended Tara Field, a trans software engineer who posted a viral tweet thread about the controversy for attending a director-level meeting to which she wasn't invited. Field has since been reinstated. The company is now sending employees details about what meetings they're allowed to attend. It's a director-level meeting. You know you're not supposed to be there. So why would you go, right? And then try to make it seem like it's their fault. Anyway. So let's check out this other article, Bloomberg. What are they talking about? I'm not signed up for anything. Right? I'm not going to do it. Netflix staff raised concern about Chappelle special before its release. Internal outcry, unprecedented in its history. And said, warning exaggerate that a series of jokes about gender-neutral pronouns and the genitalia transfer was potentially damaging, inflammatory, and damaging. How? Because it brings out actual points that you just don't want to address because you feel like you could just say and believe anything. Companies including global head of TV, Bella and Ted decided to show didn't cross the line, sparking Netflix's most significant public labor dispute in recent memory. Employees taking their grievance to internal forums and Twitter. At least 3 were suspended for crashing a meeting, then reinstated following outcry. Oh, we misbehave, and then we need to be, just because we have support, we get reinstated. The rules were there in the first place. That's almost on some Shakari Richardson shit. Well, I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I should still get to. Anywho. Now the company's planning to host an internal event with trans activists. I don't even know what that name is. The company supports artistic expression from its creators, encouraging employees to disagree openly. Dave Chappelle is the most watched comedian on Netflix. 10 million people have put on The Closer since its debut, according to a person familiar with the viewer numbers. I guess that's what they leaked and what we weren't supposed to say. CEO Reed has said the streaming platform will continue to work with Dave Chappelle in the future. And this was when did this drop? When was this article dropped? On the 13th. So I'm pretty sure more have watched it since then. I think I might have watched it on the 13th. Comedian popular coming to closet. Netflix spent $24.1 million on The Closer. Slightly more than the $23.6 million it paid for Chappelle's 2019 special Sticks and Stones. By comparison, the streaming service spent $3.9 million for Inside, Bo Burnham's recent hour-and-a-half special. The 9-episode Squid Game, which delivered the best debut in Netflix history, cost $21.4 million. Guess what? Shows that are good, that get people to watch, get paid more money. Oh, isn't that awesome? Shit, fucking Squid Game didn't even get as much money as the fucking game was about on the show. Anyway, but Netflix on measurement, Sticks and Stones had an impact value of $19.4 million, meaning it cost more than the value it generated, according to internal documents reviewed by Bloomberg. The company also evaluates its program by efficiency, which balances each show's reach with a price tag. On that scale, Chappelle's special scored 0.8, less than a break-even score of 1. By comparison, Burnham's Inside scored 2.8. I don't believe that. that these metrics don't make sense. I didn't even know Bo Burnham had a special. I don't even know who Bo Burnham is. So I'm on the outside of knowing what inside means, right? Chappelle's special is the most popular of any comedian on the service. Sticks and Stones won 2 Emmy Awards at a Grammy special. a lot of company data, our leadership, and again, skipping through, blah, 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 blah. Members of both the Black at Netflix and trans employee groups met with company leadership, including after the release of Sticks and Stones, discussed their concerns. Employees expressed dismay that the company continues to release a program with transphobic sentiments and urged Netflix to offer a platform to transgender comedians and other people from marginalized groups. They've been doing that for fucking ever. So what is the fucking problem? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, you want more? Do you want Netflix to be all trans and then everybody stop watching and then you have no job? Is that what you want? Like, just because you're into that shit doesn't mean that everybody else is. And then again, like I say, I know that these metrics don't account for people who may or may not have signed up for a Netflix subscription and then, may have watched other things on the platform. You know what I mean? It sounds like they were in charge of the voting machine. Where's Heidi when you need her? I have no idea. Who knows? Heidi's up to shenanigans and tomfoolery, as she usually is. But again, like I said, these situations, these people don't realize this. Like, people have a problem seeing the world through a different lens. And so I said two things, right? I said time and money when we first started. And what I meant by time for, I'm not wearing this. What I meant by time for John Gruden was that time. This is old stuff, right? He's done things more relevant and beneficial to the league. He's probably had more interactions with players of various races, whatever, right? Like, what you got to understand about racism, whatever you want to call it. Who gives a fuck? What? Right? Because a person can be a racist and still hire people of other races because they know it's beneficial, or know they may be better employees at certain things or whatever. People expect everything to be hunky-dory, right? I feel like this. The man wants to say things in private, in his private emails, about his private thoughts and feelings. Cool. That's what he said. He's not openly disrespecting anybody. He's not, preventing anybody from getting a paycheck. He's not preventing anybody from having a job. Then fine. Right? Like, I have no issue with that. Oh, I guess I just fixed that. I got the fucking sauce buttons on, right? Like, and then here's the other thing, because everybody's on racist. Well, most niggas tell me that racism, right? That racism is a system where people prevent you from being able to do this and that. Well, who did fucking John Gruden prevent from doing anything? Somebody said, well, you didn't draft a guy you should have drafted. Like, shut the fuck up, right? That nigga, if nobody drafted that nigga wasn't good, right? Did he prevent Michael Sam by saying gay, that whatever he's gay, isn't it? Did he prevent Michael Sam from being on a team? Did he prevent Michael Sam from being on a team? No. Michael Sam's preference for attention and trying to promote the fact that he was gay and trying to turn it into something. Let me tell you something, all right? There's nothing special about being the first openly gay athlete in anything. There's nothing special. You're just gay. You're just a gay person with a job. Like any other gay person with a job. You're just like the gay person that works at T-Mobile. I don't know why I've been using so many T-Mobile. I don't even have a T-Mobile phone, but I guess it's a T-Mobile commercial. You're just like the gay dude that works at Smoothie King, T-Mobile, at the fucking, I don't know, wherever gay people work. All over the place. Wally World, wherever, right? They're allowed to work places. There's nothing wrong with that. For those of you who can't take a joke, shut the fuck up. What makes you so special? Because you play sports and you're gay? Did no one think that was possible? Was there like a part of society who believed that gays couldn't do athletic physical activity or something? Like who thought this? Who made this a special thing? Hey, we know what group gives you awards for being you. Hey, here's an award for existing. Like, nobody cares, bro. Are you good at what you do? All right? Like, you try to use gay as like it's something special. Try to use the black thing like it's something special. Try to use the woman thing like it's something special. A verse openly Hispanic gay woman who dates black guys, right? That'll be the thing, right? Look how special she is because she does stuff. Like, who gives a fuck, man? Are you good at your fucking job? That's what matters. You shouldn't have a job just to fill some type of quota or some type of number of people need to be employed here. Because then you get people who are not as good, not as talented. Now, here's the thing. If you earn that motherfucking, you beat people out for the fucking job, that's one thing. Absolutely deserve it. Go for it. But if you got the job because we need to fill a quota of women and black, so we're just going to hire a bunch of black women. Like, everybody, like Kamala should feel like a fucking peon, right? Because you got handed this charity vice president position. Like, you got the affirmative action vice presidency. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a black woman. I don't know which one, but it's going to be a black woman. Like, here comes the charity. Like, not based on your talent, not because you're the best candidate, just because you're a black woman. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is where we are, man. Like, there is no free speech anymore, right? More interested in the back. But that's what I'm saying. And the goofy part about it is you had so many people, mainly black gay men and women, like women, black women, period, and black gay men, and then I guess women as a whole, who thought this was just an honor. Let's put on the chucks and the pearls and celebrate the affirmative action vice president. Like, it's super wild, right? Exactly. Like, yeah, she's Southeast Asian. Y'all calling her black. She's like, nah, nigga. Hi, Jim Beyonce at the cookout. I bet you ain't never been to no fucking cookout. Motherfuckers out there playing some goddamn Beyonce. You ain't playing no Frankie Beverly and Maze. When I pull up, I'm leaving. I'm taking my plate and I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, this is bullshit. You know, I don't even want no food. If y'all playing some Beyonce goddamn cookout, ain't no goddamn cookout. Y'all done order some DoorDash. Ain't nobody in this motherfucking cook. Y'all done put a bunch of microwave meals, some hungry man. Ain't nobody in this motherfucking cook. If the music bad, I know the food bad. I'm leaving. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is where we are. And this is where we are in society. This is where we are as a people. We just want this imagery. Even if the imagery don't mean shit. Just like gay Superman. What is that? Who benefits from that? Why don't you create your own gay ass superhero and make him the most badass gay superhero of all time? Make him have all the powers. Make him like so badass he can whoop Superman's ass. Like, why don't you do that? Oh, because it takes thought, effort, a little bit of creativity, intelligence. We know who all lacks that. You know, people lack that nowadays, right? Well, we'll just make him gay. I'm surprised they ain't making black and gay. Like, I figured if you're gonna make them gay, make them black, so they do it all the rest of them, right? And it's just, who is that? What was that shit? Safe Space and Shelter or something. They had 2 days. Marvel X had some gay ass super. It's like, yeah, dog. It's super wild. So do you want a diversity choir holder, affirmative action as your nurse, dentist, paramedic, fireman? Do you want to walk across the bridge built by someone who only hired for that reason? No, that's what I'm saying. No, I want the best. And my life is on the line. And I'm on the operating table. And I'm like, oh, buddy. I want to be honest, the best doctor we got, he's white, but he's done too many surgeries. Next best we got is an Asian guy, and he's already reached his quota for the month. Well, who do we got here? Oh, okay. Well, we got Raquanda Alicia, Dr. Raquanda Alicia Jones. She hasn't put in much work. She hardly ever comes to work, but she's available. You know, get her some hours in here. We got you. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I mean, y'all gonna fucking let Raquanda Alicia kill me because she didn't watch the episode of the D9 talking about the weave. She's gonna sew up. It's gonna be a track left in my body somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had this extra hair. Where all this fucking hair come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, it's like, dog, it's just, why? Like, motherfuckers have gotten their emotions so tapped into. And it works best on niggas because, like I say, niggas feel like this real relationship with TV and entertainers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, so they started with that. And that's why niggas just get on TV. Let me, hey, Superman, get the jab. And just start dancing around, play some music in the background. Say, dog, y'all ain't down with that gay Superman? Then you're supporting oppression. Like, niggas don't know what the fuck oppression is. Like, again, niggas just, you get to make stuff up these days. Like, none of the stuff that people tell you is terrible really matter. How did John Gruden make Randy Moss cry? I don't understand. What did you find out that nobody else knows? Because the emails really haven't even been leaked. This has been bits and pieces. And again, shit that's in court, that's, I'm sure, public knowledge, bits and pieces. Because DeMaurice Smith has Michelin tire lips. Dog, that shit is fucking funny. It's fucking funny. I don't care what you, if a nigga would have said if who's the nigga that fucking Moss used to play with, Chris Carter. Chris Carter be like, man, I can't stand that nigga DeMaurice and his old Michelin ass lips. I guarantee you, Randy Moss, oh, dog, that's funny. That's the funniest shit I've ever heard about DeMaurice Smith. Chris, you a fool. Like, I guarantee it. But because he came from old Chucky, right? Came from old fucking Gruden. It's the worst thing that's ever happened in the NFL. This is just the damn the bus boycotts, damn the dogs and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother level of whatever. But damn all that. John Gruden saying DeMaurice Smith has Michelin tire lips. He's the worst person of all time. And like I said, John Gruden didn't get fired for that. John Gruden got fired because, like I said, they were already investigating. Boy, he resigned for that. Like, he did not resign for the DeMaurice Smith comment because that shit came out before all the rest of the shit. He resigned once the gay shit came out. Once he started dropping the F-bomb, that's when he's up, gotta go. All the rest of that shit, he done made through all, he just went to some diversity training. You know what I'm saying? He had to go in the locker room, guys. You all got Michelin tire lips, but I shouldn't have said it in public. You know, my bad. I messed up. It was a long time ago. I was really mad. I had been drinking and, I just said some stuff I shouldn't have said. And then they'd been, oh, it's all good, coach. Yeah, whatever. And that'd have been it. Like, that'd have been it. Nobody would have gave a fuck. But now, they say you call people rubber lips when you sit there and lie. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, that's what I said. It might have been rubber lips. I don't know what it was. It's like I say, either way, who cares, right? Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? If you didn't play for him, if you didn't have some type of working relationship with him, like, what are you mad about? Randy Moss is a fucking third-party observer just like the fucking rest of us. But he over there boo-hooing and crying. One time, my coach said, nigga, hurry up and get to the line. He messed with my civil rights a little bit. I had my civil rights taken away from me. Shut the fuck up. Explain what a civil right is, Randy Moss. Like, get the fuck out of here. The motherfuckers just be saying shit. And that's what I hate. Like, motherfuckers just be saying shit. Like, bro, motherfuckers just be saying things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't care for him either. Like, I don't care. But, like, come on. Look at the dude and tell me you're even really surprised. I'm not. I don't think he should have got fired for it. And some shit he said I don't give a fuck. That's for him, his players, his employers, whatever sanctions and punishment the NFL want to hand down. I'm sure Goodell. That'd have been a hell of a meeting to be in Goodell's office. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it to your face. I think you're an anti-football pussy. Like, but now everybody feels like they're entitled to have a say. So, like, again, who made that joke? want to say it was Michael Shea or something. He made a joke talking about animals in the jungle and shit. Like, let's but I can't remember how it goes, so I'm gonna fuck it up. But just put it like this: if nobody told you that the rhinos were getting wiped out, would you know and would you give a fuck? Some of y'all know the rhinos is gone and don't even give a fuck. The damn, some of y'all probably out there using the ivory shavings to get your wee-wee back working. That's some weird shit, but hey, right? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part, right? Hey, somebody told me, calling somebody pussy means they're tough, right? Babies come out that shit. They take a beating. But again, it's just like, who cares? That's an issue for that person and whomever they were speaking about, right? That's my thing. And it's like the Dave Chappelle thing. And this is why I say with this woke ass culture, it's not just the wokeness, it's people who feel like you're getting punched down on. If y'all ain't watched it, watch it. Make inform your own opinions from it. But for the people who feel like they're getting punched down on, right? You know why they feel like they're getting punched down on is because they feel weak in their own minds. The same reason why blacks in America will never feel like they have equality across the board. Like, I'm not tripping on it, obviously. But why the majority of blacks in America will never really have equality, because in their own fucking minds, they'll never feel equal. And the reason why is because they listen to other niggas tell them a bunch of dumbass shit that's not true. And instead of, cutting off the emotional meter, reading, studying your history, the facts, getting out of the African-American section of the fucking library, and I'm talking about the fucking African-American fiction section, reading all the fucking lust books and bullshit, and go learn some shit. Cut the fucking TV off. Quit letting CNN and ESPN, all these motherfuckers who need you, tell you this dumb shit, right? And quit buying into that bullshit and go understand what's really going on and realize who's playing you. The motherfuckers who act like they fuck. Why? We've all heard the saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? We've all heard that phrase, right? But why is it always one side trying to give niggas shit? Do you think there's not something that they want in return? Do you think that nobody is that generous? Nobody's going to keep giving motherfuckers something for nothing, right? But niggas think, oh, they love it because they care about it. But y'all done had the same problems for fucking 60 fucking years. They gave you these alleged movements. See, the problem with niggas is that they want the recognition. They don't want the results. They want the representation. They don't want the results. We've talked about that a few times here, right? They was mad at Kim Kardashian for supplying the other ladies with money and helping out and doing the things that she was doing. A while back, they got mad. She's trying to take the credit from them. Kim never said nothing about that. Other people made the story. Like, she never said shit about that shit. And I'm not a Kim Kardashian fan. See, what they wanted, there's no... We can go back and talk about civil rights. They love to tout what they thought are left-leaning people. But you know why? Because Republicans or conservative people don't make a big deal about race. There may be people who feel a certain kind of way and they're going to say certain shit about certain types of people. I say shit about certain types. I am certain type of people. I still talk about them certain type of people, right? But it's because of the way they look or their image or what you believe about them. Obviously, it has to be racist. Y'all let liberal people call motherfuckers, y'all let them call niggas coons and Sambos and all kind of shit. And then, yeah, they give us food stamps. It's all right. Like, niggas got it fucking back. Y'all let the motherfucker sitting in office right now say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Motherfucker ain't done a damn thing for niggas in his entire life and calls y'all every kind of this, that, and the third, but because he put a D in front of his name. Because there's a D in front of his name when it comes across the fucking screen. Niggas ran out and did just the dumbest shit. And this nigga been fucking bending y'all over a barrel, no Vaseline in y'all the entire time. It's only been a year. Seems like this nigga done been here 8 years. The way shit done got fucked up. It ain't even been a whole year. Nigga been busting niggas over a barrel. And they still cheering for this motherfucker. Can't afford the shit they got. Still cheering for this motherfucker. Don't get kicked out because the eviction moratorium. Still rooting for this motherfucker. Like, ain't putting no money in your pocket. Still rooting for this motherfucker. You go to the fucking stores looking emptier and emptier. Now, I don't know if people are noticing it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe people don't shop as much as I do, you know? Because, you know, I'll go grab a couple of things here and there every day, every few days or so, if I'm out and about. And sometimes I just notice shit on certain aisles. Damn, they ain't restocked that shit. That shit used to be full all the time. Damn, they ain't got this. Okay. Damn, it's been a minute since I've seen some of that. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person noticing that shit. Right? He said you ain't been black. Shout out to LaMelle, man. Yeah. Like Australia, terrible. Cali, terrible. And then y'all see what they talking about the boosty boost. Talking about 2 months, get the boosty boost. What kind of deal works at like, and here's my deal, like, trust me, I had a little scare in the crib last week, right? So if you're gonna get it, right? The thing about my deal is the people who try to force it. If you don't do this, you're killing everybody. How? Because if that's the case, you was just as dangerous as I was this time last year when it wasn't none. You a killer too. Thug. Like, you a killer too. So what's really going on? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like this, they feel like they have this moral righteousness for doing what they're told, right? Look out for yourself. Like, here's my deal. You got to look out for your health. You got to look out for your well-being. You got to take care of yourself. And if you feel like that's the right thing to do, that's cool. But you don't have the right to tell somebody else, well, you need to do this. Because what if I stay in the house all day? What if I never leave the house? And I decide I don't want to. So how am I impacting anybody? The mailman? Like, check the mailbox. Well, it might linger on the mailbox. Like, that's my deal, right? All right, lovely Miss Sarah Lou. But see, that they're not gonna tell you these things. They're not gonna say that, right? And so that's my deal. It's just like, bro, we can't be honest about anything. Everything is pure emotion. The jab, emotion. Race relations, emotion. The fucking politics, emotion. Like, there's no facts, anything anymore. The fucking sexuality shit, emotion. Dave offered a hand of, hey, let's shake hands. Let's be equals here. You know, I don't necessarily even agree with that argument as far as, oh, we're getting stepped on and we're like, I don't necessarily see that shit from the black perspective. Dave has a different view than me. I still can find this shit funny. And he points out, hey, I feel like with the gay community, you know, they get rights that we don't, right? But he pointed out a great thing. Like, if y'all haven't watched the special, well, too late, nigga, cover your ears for the say some shit, because he made some very, very good points, right? And I kind of want to do a whole video on this, but it's kind of getting stale, so I want to talk about it. When he talked about the baby, and he talked about this shit in the other one, I think Sticks and Stones. But everybody glossed over all this shit and just, he said a thing. He said trans, and shame on him. He said the baby killed a nigga in a Walmart. Didn't hurt his career. That nigga said some shit on the stage, did some shit that all rappers do, which is to get the crowd hyped up. You know how motherfuckers be like, oh, if your pussy clean, woo, woo, woo. And the bitch be like, yeah. You know, the bitches be funky in the motherfucker. You smell me, you standing, lying ass bitch. Put your arm down. If your armpit funky, I know your coochie funky. But anyway, lying ass motherfuckers. But anyway, so he did some shit to hype the crowd up. Hey, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot and you ain't, you know, got one of them STDs that's gonna kill you in 2 weeks, over exaggerating this shit. I don't know how long AIDS takes. They got pills for the shit now. Ain't nobody dying from AIDS no more. AIDS ain't cool no more. Man, shit, Magic Johnson been alive. He gonna outlive everybody, right? Got canceled. He said something about the gays. Got canceled. Got canceled. Or tried to cancel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Oh, he's terrible. He's this. You can talk about shooting niggas, murdering niggas, bodying niggas. You can really go do the shit. Don't nobody give a fuck. Niggas too goofy and too stupid to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is why I be saying what I'm saying. Like, these are things that if you make me change my perspective on life. So you can make a rap song about shooting up a whole hood, murdering everybody, nigga, fuck their mama and kill their kids and do all this shit, you a hoe ass. Nobody bats an eye. You say, I got Jewish money. Oh, no. Oh, no, Mr. Savage. You better not say that. Oh, LeBron, you're singing the lyrics? You better not say that. LeBron got Jewish money. You can't say these things. But it's okay to say, nigga this, nigga that. And anybody can say it. You can say whatever you want to. And this is my thing. That's why I talk about niggas all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part. You can't say nothing about the jab. Who's the I want to say it was somebody Brown or something. I think he said I can't remember what team he played for. He played for the Nets, I want to say last year. And he talked about he got that shit and he got blood clots and he can't play basketball no more. But the Nets told him not to say anything and be quiet. Told him to shut up. We talk about, like I said, you can't talk about any kind of sexuality or even the new ones they make up every day with the new flags. I got a flag. I'm gonna make a straight flag. I already got the design and everything. I got the design. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make a shirt with a straight flag on it. Let's see how much flack I get. I might do it this week. I might have a little time this weekend. I might make a shirt with the straight flag on. I'm gonna get on TikTok and promote it and see what kind of flack I get. Right. Heidi, I'm on. Okay. That's what matters. All right. Go Astros, rah, rah, roo, roo. But I'm on right now. Brandon Goodwin. Oh, wow. So let me jot these down, right? Because nobody says, well, just do it. Well, what if I'm one of the ones? Because here's the thing. That whole greater good shit sounds really good. It sounds really good, right? Sounds really good. Well, just do it for the greater. Well, what if I'm one of the ones that is not the greater good? What if I'm one of the ones that's is down bad? Now I can't take care of the people that I've been feeding for years. What if it's well, you can only put the flag on it. Yeah, I'm gonna starch that bitch. Now I'm gonna put some stay flow on that bitch. That hoe gonna be straight. That's part of the clause. When you buy the straight flag, it's gonna come with a bottle of Stay Flow. You know what I'm saying? So that way you gotta starch that hoe before you hang that bitch up. You feel me? That bitch gonna be wow, that hoe gonna be rocked. You know what I'm saying? Well. Shit. Yeah, fully ready. That motherfucker gonna be rocked. I don't know about you, Heidi. Black people don't get blood clots. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the internet from time to time. But so my thing is the Hawks. Oh, it was for the Hawks. That's what I was like, the Falcons. I was like, okay. I couldn't remember it. But I remember you talking about it, or the thing was coming out, they was talking about they were saying that he couldn't. Yeah, everybody's waiting for you so they can get their turn to talk to you, Heidi. Miss Sarah wasn't here, but she stepped out for a second. But my thing is just, man, it's baffling. You missed a great segment. I had plenty of good jokes. I had Michael Sam jokes, Heidi. I had that's pretty much it. All I had was Michael Sam jokes. But and this is my thing. So like I said, you can talk about everybody, and niggas accept that. Niggas will, because we don't take no fucking pride in wanting ourselves and the things we do, and then we celebrate lowball ass shit. And so it's like, I almost don't think niggas know what to really take pride in, like what to be proud of. And it's like, we cheer for certain shit, you know what I'm saying? But that certain shit don't advance us. If y'all can see my fucking screen right now, it looks really crazy because my desktop background is the same background, the Houston skyline background. And so the way it's continuing, it looks real freaky. But anywho, it's just like, man, it's crazy to me. And niggas get mad. Did y'all see too? Whitlock, I followed up and I saw the Whitlock thing where he was talking about, he was going in on Randy Moss, right? Oh, I had Randy Moss jokes. He was going in on Randy Moss. And what happened? Randy Moss talking about some on site. Randy Moss sat there and cried about some shit that Gruden said in the email, it just touched him so much because my civil rights were touched. They touched my civil rights one time in high school. They kind of got messed with. They got taken away, then they put them back, and they kind of touched them a little bit. Whitlock got there and spoke facts, bro. Spoke big facts. And what was his response to Whitlock? On site. Well, if you so mad, why it ain't on site with Gruden if it's all that? If it's so mad that it's got you crying, why it ain't on site with Gruden? Because that's the perspective niggas have of other niggas. Or black folks have of other black folks, right? When I see Jason Whitlock, it's on site. It's on site, I promise. Jason Whitlock's me and you. On site. But again, that's what it is. Because that's why I say niggas will never be equal in America, because mentally, niggas will never feel equal. He would never say such a thing to John Gruden. John Gruden is his peer. Randy Moss, I don't know how much money Randy Moss still has now, but he's not playing the game. John Gruden was a ESPN analyst before getting back into the game coaching. You're an ESPN analyst. He's your peer. But you would never say that to him. He would never say such a thing. If he was so mad, so riled up that he said something about DeMaurice Smith, who was a union leader when he was a part of that and everything, that's his boy, that's his partner, right? He'll never say on site to him. Shit. Man, look. What if Randy Moss did see Jason Whitlock, and it was on site, and Jason Whitlock beat the brakes off of Randy Moss? What if that was the case? Could Randy ever come back from that? Could Randy ever come back from that? Randy, who is Randy ever? Randy was always a skinny nigga. Randy was too light to fight. Randy over there crying about somebody who said some shit that don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Correa out there doing Spanish interviews, telling people he leaving, he going to the Mets or the Yankees. Talk about Correa. If you don't win no shit. The Astros better come with the monies. They better come with the monies. Better come with a lot of the monies. You let all the players go. But again, like, that's my deal. Is like, with the quickness, he cries because he feels like, what's his name? Did he say it in English? I don't believe it. He feels like Gruden is above him mentally. That's where he's playing. He plays Gruden above him. We pay these guys lots of money, so he don't even see him as an equal. We pay these guys lots of money to be leaders, lead 70 men, equipment managers, and you know this and do all this. We pay them lots of money. You get paid lots of money, nigga. What are you talking about? You got money. Like, once you reach the millions, like, unless you're talking about hundreds of millions, and Gruden didn't do the 10 years to get the 100 million. Like, if you in the double-digit million range, until you start seeing them 100, you're relatively in the same area, right? Like, yeah, you got more, you can do some things, but like, you're peers. But you crying because he said something. But Whitlock spoke his mind about the situation, same perspective, and sports commentator from various networks. You want to fight that nigga? You were crying. You was crying like a female. For what? Putting on a fucking theatrics. I'm gonna watch it again.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotional responses to this. Teddy, I hear you saying, basically, if you were in that locker room today, you kind of just put your head down and you think of him as the leader in terms of the decision maker, but not necessarily a leader you respect. I'm curious, from your perspective, Randy, if you were in that locker room today, would you be able to play for him?
Teddy Bruschi, I'm telling y'all, Teddy Bruschi has the same views as John Gruden. I'm willing to bet money. Have y'all ever heard the shit Teddy Bruschi be on? Teddy Bruschi, if Teddy Bruschi was not a football player, Teddy Bruschi would be a cop. That's the kind of mentality that he has. Like, he was like a cop on the field. That's well, why isn't Mommy Africa giving us some of that good old milk? Hey-o. But no, never mind. Well, whatever. Brewski would be a cop. He would violate. He would, you know, whatever. A topic. Nah, send it to me. Black Americans are fighting against their white father American. That makes sense. That's the problem, though. Blacks don't see themselves as Americans. And it's sad. Like, it's sad. Like, the blueprint is there. And here's the crazy part, right? Because let me tell you how much 10 years is. And I'm going to finish playing the video again because I want to talk about it. Let me tell you how much 10 years is. 2011. In 2011, 10 years ago, I may have thought the way a lot of these woke ass people, I may have thought the same way a lot of these people think. A lot of the wokes, a lot of the people who were just, yeah, this is racist. I probably would have been on that bandwagon. That's how much of a difference 10 years make. I'm so anti that shit. Like, it ain't even close. Like, that's why I don't care what somebody did 10 fucking years ago. I don't care what somebody did 5 years ago. Show me who you are right now, today, right in this fucking moment. I'm gonna take you at that. Now, if you a fool in this moment, then I'm gonna talk about your foolish actions from last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because you're still that same individual. But if you're showing me a different person and you show me that your character has changed, also you become something different or whatever it may be, then I'm gonna take you at that. You know what I'm saying? You see, you watch the Dream Team Doc, they all love America. Yeah. Because they know that in no other country, like niggas, y'all, it sounds fucked up, but y'all better be happy. If you here, you been here, you ADOS or whatever you want to call it, man, you better be happy that your ancestors went through whatever the fuck they went through. Because if not, you'd have still been in Africa just getting internet like yesterday. Like you'd have just been getting internet last week when Akon came to visit after he done dropped a couple albums, got a couple of platinum hits and got y'all some electricity. Like, and I know not all of Africa is like that. There's not animals in everywhere in Africa. I know that I am, Nigerian. There's not all scammers. I know this. But it's like the advantages you have here that you refuse to fucking take because you let people con you out of shit. Niggas loved America prior to the 60s. Prior to like somebody telling you that your civil rights were like, niggas didn't even know shit about no fucking civil rights. Oh, civil rights are fucked up. Oh, this is terrible. Niggas started marching and shit. Oh, what's going on? What? Shit ain't good. We making more money than ever. Our families are strong. We building. We having community. We having things like PM C. PM C wasn't around then, but you know what I'm saying. We having things. And a bunch of woke white people came and told you, oh, this shit is not going right. You guys got to organize. You got to get it together. Your rights are being trampled on you. It's not fair for you. And niggas start marching. Niggas start doing some other shit. Niggas start wanting rights for shit that didn't even really fucking matter. Right? And they start taking niggas out the house. Well, here, baby, you just get this. Make sure there's no man in your home. We'll give you a check. You can have as many kids as you want to. They're going to be degenerates, and it's going to probably be a problem after a while, but it's all good. Them niggas fucked y'all over and y'all bought that shit. And I can understand it. I can understand it initially, right? But then after a point, you have to say, hey, this shit is terrible. Well, niggas are selfish, right? Because it's about me right now. It's about instant gratification. It's about listening to all this bullshit Hollywood, the media, all these stories that they used to make off of you while you're sitting your ass at home watching Oprah eating bonbons, making you believe this shit. And then what I call it, Dr. Roquanisha? No, I had another name. It was way better than that. Let me see if it's still there. What was the name? It was a great name too. Do. White box with a pressed ham and cheese sandwich. Oh man. What was the name? Please tell me it's still up here. So would you rather spend your money with the brands who existed over a century or the brands that launched on Facebook last year? It depends. Oh, yes. Raquanda Leisha. Yes, Raquanda Leisha Jones. Let me write that down. That's gonna be a new name around this motherfucker. Raquanda Leisha Jones. I'm gonna have her call in. Yeah, this Raquanda Leisha. I heard she was talking by me. Let's go, Brandon. But like, you know, Raquanda Leisha get on the phone with Shaniquita. Not forcing it. And they get to talking, but you seen that on TV? Yeah, they said we getting done bad. They found one nigga. They beat the shit out that one nigga. We all getting beat up. Like, dog. When I see these people literally saying we're getting systematically murdered in the streets by police. And again, police shootings, maybe a couple of thousand a year. Most, I don't have the stats in front of me. Like 60% of that shit is white. Sprinkle some Mexicans in there. Sometimes they mix the Mexicans with the whites, Hispanics, depending on how you rocking with it. You got a few hundred niggas that get shot by the cops every year. Deaths, a percentage of that. Nigga, in the city, you combine every major city led by a Democrat, led by anybody really. You catching more bodies in your neighborhood than any of that, right? But we can't talk about that, even though that's the clear and present danger. That's the shit that's more likely to kill you than anything. And let's just have a common sense conversation about, nigga, you a coon. We can't have a common sense conversation about what's threatening your life more than anything, what's the biggest hindrance to your advancement more than anything. I'm a coon for speaking about it. I'm saying, hey, what has gotten more niggas out of the hood than anything? It's not just being able to play sports. Everybody can play some sports, but it's being able to play sports and to go play at that next level, which is, you know, getting that collegiate education, then hopefully going to the league. It's a lot of guys you'll never hear about. It's a lot of guys, a lot more guys you've never heard about that have went to school and gone to college. There's a lot of niggas dropped out, but it's a lot of them that's gone to college, and this is one that's dropped out. That have gone to college, knew they wasn't finna make the league, realized that free education was their ticket to a better life from what they came from. And they took that shit and they benefited off it. It's a lot of them. A lot of them. Some of them stayed close to the game, became coaches. Some of them stayed close to the game, became personal trainers, whatever it may be. Others have gone off into various other fields. They used that shit to have fucking success in life because they knew what that meant, right? Some of them already came from smart families. They were able to use that and get that free education. They already knew where they was going. Some of them realized it in the moment while they were there. Some of them didn't. Some of them had some other shit going on, but no excuses, right? And so the biggest thing is education is what gets you out the hood. But then also once you become educated, you have to embrace new behaviors. Like you can't try to be still be that old hood nigga doing the same shit, hanging around the same block, and you got a degree, a useful degree. Now, like I said, you get that underwater basket weaving, that's on you. You want to go get something, liberal arts or something, and you don't want to teach or some weird shit, then that's on you, if you make a bad choice. But you go and get a degree that puts you in a different bracket where you're not living in the poverty line. You're not dealing with the nonsense. You don't have to be in them environments. But then, hey, well, you go do something with yourself. You do. Oh, you a coon for doing that. Wow. Well, why do I want to be around other people who don't want any better? Because it's not where I build networks. It's not where it's going to grow. I can come back here and coach the youth or do this, that, and the third. But ultimately, it's not my responsibility to save everybody, especially when most of the same people be the ones who get on you for being educated, for being smart. Oh, you think you better than folks. You this, that, and the third. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why I say as a community, we got to change the perspective of shit. Like, you got to value education. Public school don't teach you shit, and it's getting worse and worse. We seeing it now. They getting rid of advanced math classes. They getting rid of gifted and talent class. All these things. So you're going to need a secondary education to be relevant in any form or fashion. It's going to be more so than ever, right? Because it's getting worse and worse for the kids. They dumbing them down. And again, you know, I really feel like there needs to be new methods of educating. That I think trade skills need to be taught, but they would never do that because then you're making more independent people who figure, well, I'll make money this way or that way and not need the additional stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. Code don't really mean anything. Like, but what you got to understand, what you got to understand is like, I think Dan and I just think differently. I'm not finna trip on nothing. Like I say, at the same time as a coon, I'm not finna trip on. If motherfucker you nigger, I'm not gonna trip on. I'm not finna be tripped on being called anything. I'm not gonna. I don't give away that ability, right? Now, the one thing that will frustrate me is like deliberately misinterpreting something I say. Oh, you said it, and no, I didn't fucking say that. That shit gets me angry. But you name calling me something because you can't dispute what I'm saying, or you don't like what I'm saying, or whatever else it may be, then I look at that as a them problem. I'm not mad. Like, why would I be mad because they have an issue? And generally being called a coon is, if people really thought about what it was, again, the coon was the monkey shining motherfucker who did some anything, but that's, oh, you coon. I don't give a fuck what white people think about me. I don't give a fuck what niggas think about me. I said this the other day. I don't care what Mexicans think about me. I only care what the Asians think about me, because they're going to take over everything soon. So konnichiwa, gung pao, chicken, bulgogi, all that shit. I'm speaking the shit. That's all I give a shit. Look, I work in a laundromat. Don't take me out. But all boys, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks, because that's the problem that we have is too many people are concerned what everybody else feels like. Now, don't take this out of context, because like with people, I talked about like apologies and stuff earlier, right? And there's been times in here I say, hey, I'm sorry, you guys are, but again, we have that connection. We have a rapport. We have a thing, you know. My job is to provide conversation and entertainment for you guys on a nightly basis. That's what I do. That's my purpose of being here. That's why y'all come here. So when I do things that let you know, I do feel a personal responsibility because that y'all support me. So I say these things. But like somebody here who goes out and Randy Moss crying about John, what the fuck does John Gruden owe Randy Moss? Like nothing. People were begging for an apology. You shouldn't have said it. Like, what does he owe you? Nothing. So like when I say things like in the den, it's personal because I do feel like I owe you that. But as far as what anybody else thinks about, like if it was some shit and this guy's been saying stuff on this side of the internet for a long time, saying bad things, he needs to apologize to the world. Y'all would see the true definition of no fucks given. Like, dog, fuck you. Suck my dick, kiss my ass. All the blatant body offerings that I could put out would definitely do. But my deal is just like this. I don't care about those things. If it's not a life-threatening situation, it's not a situation where I'm putting in kind of danger, what the fuck are them words, right? Konnichiwa? Son of a gun. Got it. I know what a warning track is. It's when a rapper like start dissing another nigga, just let him know if you say anything else about me, it's gonna get real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that's what that is. It's a buddy of mine is caught between two 500-pound lesbian granddaughters and their grandparents. What? I got you. I got you, little man. Next milestone we reach in the den. I got you. I got you, little man. Everybody will get a wrench before Broderick ever gets wrench. I'm just want to just give out a bunch of wrenches. Broderick will come in here like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. See, that was number one warning track of all time. And so that's just what it is. I'm just saying, I'm a misogynist. I can't be giving women power up in here. Well, this wouldn't be the den if I did such a thing. That's what I get accused of. They be like, I should be hating on the women. You don't ever give them no wrenches. Giving women wrenches, they never even came to the channel. Terrible. But like I said, it's just, these are the things. Oh, well, let me finish this because I just wanted to watch this again, right? Because this was terrible. If you didn't see this was the biggest fucking fake acting crocodile teardrop I've ever seen in my life. There's one point of this thing I want to talk about again.
To speaking of Teddy's point, basically you hear us talk about we got work to do, we got a job to do, and that's to provide for our families. And Teddy hit it right on the head of just putting your head down and going playing football.
This is where he's warming up the tears. He's trying to think of his family. He's trying to think of something sad that happened to his family so he can get the tears rolling. You got to work for families. And did Gruden take any food out your family mouth? If not, then nigga, what the fuck are you crying for?
I speak about the game of football. I fell in love with the game of football Sam was 6 years old. And I get emotional talking about it because of situations like this. My civil rights were taken, were
What civil rights, nigga? What civil rights were taken, nigga? Please tell me.
We're kind of messed with.
Right there, lets you know this nigga's a bullshit ass nigga. My civil rights were taken. What? Rights being taken from you, and then your rights being kind of messed with. The degree of severity declined immensely, very rapidly. What happened, nigga? Tell me. I need to know.
High school over the color of my skin, and now being able to play 14 years in the National Football League, to have something like this of a leader. We talk about leadership. We give guys these big contracts because they want to be able to.
Now I want y'all to pay attention. This nigga ain't say shit.
Lead 70 men, coaches, equipment staff, and managers to the number one goal, and that's to win the championship. And for us to be moving back and not forward in 21st century, like I said, man, National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
No.
National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. We're moving forward. Dog. Can somebody please tell me, what did he say of merit in that little whatever? When I was 6, I fell in love with the game of football. I get emotional, and in high school one time my civil rights were taken from me. Well, they were kind of messed with a little bit. You got beat out by a wide receiver, didn't you? You wasn't that good in high school. The white guy beat me out for the number one receiver, and he messed with me a little bit. Fucking like, dog. He's no longer the GOAT, dog. That nigga slandered himself, bro. Like, I lost all respect for this nigga for this shit right here, dog. All respect. Now, I had no beef with Randy Moss whatsoever. But what did him talk about DeMaurice Smith, his rubber Michelin tire lips, again, that Michelin tire shit is funny to me. How does it get to the point where Randy Moss is crying? I'm watching a Bill Belichick documentary. That's cool. He loves it. What he crying about is like, I wish I could get out there and play right now. And reach the breaking point. I can't do it no more. Yeah, that's niggas who think about, what they did on the field. This nigga's not, dog. This nigga's not crying about shit fucking John Gruden said. Unless he's concerned about the Michael Sam statements, like, this is, yeah, absolutely. He's crying about nothing. He got the white lady crying with him and all this shit. Like, This nigga lost all respect for me. I'm tired of seeing niggas crying on TV, Van Jones ass nigga.
I can play for you, but I'd rather not. Okay, I'd rather not do it, but if I have to do it, I will. And it's just because I have other people that I have to provide for.
Teddy Bruschi ass ain't
I'd
say
rather
shit.
not do it.
Yeah.
But
I'd rather not do it because somebody's going to ask me a question. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say what I don't give a shit. So I'd rather not do it.
We've done it before in different situations. We are all mentally tough people in that locker room, but it's something you'd rather not do.
Yeah, so this is what I think about. It's like Randy's sitting up here feeling this way from a distance. I can't imagine a guy.
This bitch ain't never took a snap in the NFL. I just can't imagine what are they thinking in that locker room. I tried out for the XFL one, or the LFL once. I didn't have any juice. I didn't make the team, and I know exactly how they felt. Bitch, if you don't get on with your bullshit, you know, this is what it is. This how Randy Moss, when you got the white women crying, goddamn. You never get fired. Motherfucker gonna own the station a little bit, and then they gonna say you've been giving women pills and shit.
In that locker room today, trying to play a football game, feeling that way.
With a heavy heart.
How? I don't know.
It hurts.
I don't know how. What? Max, Matt, or Rex, I would love to hear your perspective. What should the NFL do
Purple
right now?
Drag,
You
what's
see
the
this response,
motherfucking
and
deal?
guarantee there's a version of this response in that locker room. What should they do? How do you make this right? How does John Gruden make this right at this point? Or
John Gruden ain't got to make shit right now. I think honestly, like when this happened, this is probably before he resigned or whatever. So when all this took place, but still, he don't owe y'all shit. If he owes anybody anything, his team, he owes a statement while he was there, or ownership or whatever. But he don't owe nobody at this panel. He don't owe me. He don't owe Randy Moss. He don't owe nobody shit. I agree. Rex just like, damn, I hope they don't find my motherfucking emails. Goddamn shit. I already knew that motherfucker was getting what. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But again, who you talking about? You talking about fucking John Gruden is his friend? You think John Gruden is his friend? Wait till they get to John Gruden's emails about Randy Moss. It's one fast nigger. Fastest nigger I've ever seen in my life. Them good old, they don't make country niggers like that anymore. No. I'm telling y'all, Brewski, Ryan, they don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. Brewski's like, fuck, I'm forced to say, y'all keep saying my name. Bob McNair ain't never used the email. Bob McNair had a two-way pager. Good old Southern seasoned racism, you say. Like, I truly, honestly don't give a shit. Because ultimately, and then let me tell you what else got on my, let me tell you the main thing that got on my nerves. We get ready to wrap it up, because I told you I'm going to be on the gaming channel, 11:30. I need to finish fucking with this Far Cry. I played the Far Cry. I want to play the zombie shit, but I'm going to get on this Far Cry in a little bit. Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson all of a sudden got all kind of shit to say. Yeah, I ain't lying. I thought he was a fraud anyway. Yeah. Why you ain't never say this shit? Like, why do motherfuckers gotta wait till people get ostracized and out? Same like here in Houston, with all the fucking local media. Once Bill O'Brien got fired, yeah, he was a piece of shit. He was cussing at people. He did mean so like, fucking pussy, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear this shit. Like, I don't want to hear you shitting on a nigga after. Like, if that's what that nigga is, then say what he's doing and shit. Say when he's around to try to defend himself or, whatever. You want to wait till the motherfucker gone. You ain't got to see him face, big pussy. But Keyshawn, like with that shit, yeah, I always thought he was a fraud anyway. Now, he made a good point about him, I think, snatching the trophy out of the general manager's hand and the general manager leaving. That's interesting. But as far as all that, like, why have you never said that before? Why has that never been mentioned before? Why all of a sudden now? We got plenty of time to say it. But, it is what it is. I think John Gruden's fraud. Like, I have no issue just saying. I mean, I'm not Keyshawn Johnson, obviously, but I don't think he did shit. I think he just took Dungy's team and went to the Super Bowl with it. Like, Dungy built the framework, did everything. Chucky came and just took advantage of what was already there. Again, because if that was the case, he'd have done it again in the same manner in which he did it in Tampa. Didn't happen. You saw Dungy take the formula, take it Andy, and do it again. So it is what it is. But yeah. Terrible. Terrible. You're a terrible personality. But here is the deal, okay, because it is about that time. I love you, dead folk. I think you're all amazing. Although we come from many backgrounds, we're all racist in our own right. And it's okay. It's okay to be racist in the den. I find it humorous. I think racist jokes are the best jokes. Some say they're classless. They may be right, but I don't give a shit. They're funny because you're not supposed to like the funniest part about it is that people get mad about it. Like, why are you mad? This shit doesn't apply to you. Why are you getting angry? Why? Why are you angry? I don't understand. But like I said, 11:30. Let me actually hit the little. Let me put a link in here. Let me actually like do that kind of thing. So we'll be on the shit. I'm gonna be in there talking more shit. Y'all want to keep the conversation going about this? We can talk about this. We can talk about whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about while I shoot this shit because I need to finish that. Put on the Astros, Altuve, Grand Slam. There's a link for the whatchamacallit. I'm finna find me something to snack on. It's hard being a fat man in America, but I do it well. Find me something to snack on. 11:30 will be on the Gamer Channel. I'll see what these Astros are that this Heidi. See, this is why I can't watch the Astros, Heidi. You got to understand. Like, everybody has their sports superstitions, right? Like, there have been times that I've actually, Astros be winning. People are like, oh, the Astros win and go to, and I put on the game and then the Astros don't do so well. So I don't want to be like a sports jinx, right? I don't want to be like the reverse sports fucking damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? I had it right on what's the fucking word? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers be having the fucking so it starts with S. I can't even think of it. That's terrible. Brain farts. Yeah, so I don't want to be that and fuck it all up. The sports mojo, we'll just call it that for now. And so yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's that. Damn it, why can't I think of the fucking word? I'm mad because it's like right there in the corner of my brain. No, not a curse. Man, the actual proper word for it. When motherfuckers have little rituals and shit that they do. Damn it. Why can't I think of it? I can think of it. No, not scapegoat. Not the abused kid. Walking under ladders and shit. What's the fucking word? No, not a heck. Superstitions. Thank you. God damn it, I couldn't fucking think of superstitions for shit. I'm like, I'm over here on some psychopath. I don't know what the fuck. I couldn't think about it. There you go. Superstitions, yeah. So the superstitions, like I don't want to do a reverse sports superstition. You know what I'm saying? Because when I be watching, like they'll be doing good. Like if I catch a game from the beginning of the game and they're doing good the entire time, that's one thing. But like if they're already doing good or a game is already in progress, and let me catch it, then it's been a couple of times that it's gone bad. So I can't do that. So yeah, I'm one of the little stitches. I'm moderately, I'm macrostitious. But with that being said, buckets. That was a terrible jump shot. That's a flat ass brick. Link in the thing. Hit the gaming channel. We're gonna be over there. I appreciate y'all, man. I fuck with y'all. I thank y'all for being here. Y'all are the greatest, and I'm glad to. I might don't hold me to this. All right, just don't hold me to this. I don't stream on Saturdays. but I'm going to kind of have a free Saturday. Well, kind of, sort of. Might have a free Saturday tomorrow. So I'm going to do either one or two things. I'm either going to be playing, I might do I won't say a marathon stream, but I might go for a while on the gaming channel or drop some shit. We might have a elongated, slightly earlier den. But don't hold me to any of that. But if you see something pop up, say, hey, den on a Saturday, nigga, make sure you pull up. If not, make sure you subscribe to the gaming channel, because then I might be on that bitch earlier during the day. Or I might just not tell anybody shit and just enjoy the game by myself, because y'all be trying to distract me. But anyway, I folks, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you all. But it is time for me to go, my friend. I don't even know what that is. Oh, there's a weird ass thing. I don't know what it is. It's a weird ass thing. I don't know what it is. Put on my shades. Stay player paid. That's how we do it today. Hey. Saturday for the win. Generous hoes, generous shows. One day, maybe no pose. Don't bring no pros. But they gon' wanna promote OnlyFans. And I don't wanna be the only man. But I do got an only plan. It don't make no sense. But where the monkey print, hey. John Gruden made me do it. I'm out, baby.